We're doing a 30 amp generator inlet on this 200 amp panel. Got just enough space on the breaker there to add our 30 amp. We have to move those two down, put our 30 amp up top for the interlock kit to work. Now you see this one doesn't have the main breaker, but we got one here ready to go in. We got our power inlet, got our wire, got our interlock kit, and our conduit, so we're ready to go. Alright, so we're adjusting all this wiring in here, making sure everything's nice and tight. Checking the backs of these breakers. Obviously we had to move these two down. I need this space for the generator breaker, so move those two down. Got the wiring lined up a little bit better. So I took this dryer feed off, the breaker off, and it was extremely loose. Found some loose, tightened them up, try to get these looking nicer. So back to why we actually do the tightening. You know what it is the biggest cause of failure is going to be loose connections. So back on that bus bar, if that were to be loose and it's barely grabbing on there, then you start to get heating it up, arcing, and that's where you're going to lead to your failures and your fires. Same thing over here with these grounds and neutrals, mainly the neutrals, but you want to make sure everything's nice and tight. But any loose neutral is also going to cause arcing, so I went through and tightened those all up also. So everything's 100% tight now. Here's the finished product of the inside of the panel. Got the generator breaker here. Interlock kit comes with these tie wraps so you can hold it in place. With the sticker that says "Do not remove." It's your generator inlet. Cleaned it up a little bit. We got our generator inlet mounted here. 30 amp. This customer is going to be able to just run their house panel, basically. Some lights, fridge, keep their food good, and some lights on. Here's a look at the interlock kit in action. This is the Square D QO 200 amp interlock kit. So as you can see, the main's off, and now it's locked out because this 30 amp breaker's on and the handle keeps it in place. So with this handle on, you can't turn on the main breaker. So your generator would be plugged in there and you'd be back feeding your panel. On this 30 amps, you'd only be able to have your panel on and be feeding just the necessities. Then when your neighbors get power back, you can turn off your generator. That'll slide down and you can turn on your main.